about Microsoft Loop today. So here I am, I've logged into loop.microsoft.com, which I have access to through my Microsoft 365 account. Now, a word of caution here, your IT administrator needs to have enabled Microsoft Loop for your organization in order for this to work. Now, Loop can be created in many ways. There are Loop workspaces, Loop pages, and Loop components. Loop components can be created in Outlook. They can also be created in Teams. And we can create these workspaces and share the individual components with other users in our organization. So this is all about internal collaboration. So let's have a look. I've logged in, and online I have workspaces, and I have my getting started workspace. So the very first time you log in, this is what you're going to see. So if I go into it, you'll see that it's made up of several pages. The welcome page, giving you some information, your basics that you can check, make sure that you followed through, some inspiration, things that you can do, what they would look like, some feedback if you want to send feedback, and your next steps, which are basically to go and test it all out. So here I created a page for Coffee Island. You know, all my training takes place in Coffee Island, the best coffee shop in the world. And I've got a few things here like tasks and a voting table and a progress tracker, etc. And I'm going to show you how to create all of those. So to do that, I'm going to go back to Loop homepage, and I'm going to create a new workspace. This is a brand new workspace. I'm going to call it Coffee Island. Really easy. Okay, that's what we're going to call it, and I'm going to create it. Now, I could also have given it a little emoji as well. So we start off with an untitled page. So let's give the page a title. This is Coffee Island. Fantastic. And we just start typing to add things. So if we type in a /, it will give us some formatting tips that we can add, and at the bottom some templates for all sorts of different things that we might wish to add. So if we make this a heading 1, and then this is a Loop page, and we are going to create components. So that's my heading 1. And now if I type the @ symbol, it will find various things that I might want to add. For example, I might want to add my presentation. So this now is a link to that presentation with the first page, and if I click on it, it should open that presentation in the browser for me, which it's doing. It's working away, and there it's coming along nicely in PowerPoint, and there is my presentation. So I'm going to close that down for now. I can then share this with other people. But before we do that, let's go to the / and let's choose a checklist. So the first item is learn Loop and create a workspace. Add pages. And you can see how you can build up a really nice list. Now, what I can do now by clicking away is I can click on this little 6 dots, and I can choose create loop component, and that would be a better way of doing it, because now I can show you what happens next. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to delete these. So what you're seeing also is how you can delete things in Loop, which is very important to know as well. Okay, so that's just to add a new item. So now we've got a component. Here it is, component. We can open it in the browser. And now I've stopped recording for a second, and I went and added a voting table. I just wanted to speed up the process because I don't want this video to be too long. I want you to get the hang of it and get going using it. So here is my voting table, and we can create a Loop component from it. There we go. Now to share it, I'm going to click up share up here. I'm going to choose Loop component, and then I'm going to choose who can share it. So who can see it, who I'm sharing it with. And at the moment it says anyone, or people with existing access, or people in tomorrow's VA, or specific people. So I'm going to share it with Veronica. and it should find her. There she is. And she can also edit this as well. So I'm going to apply that. Now it's a shareable link. So when I copy that, I'll need to go into Outlook and I'll need to email Veronica. And I can say link to Loop. And I'm just going to send that Coffee Island component. Now what you can see is it actually pastes the whole page in there. I haven't shared just the component, I've actually shared the page. So I'm going to send that off to Veronica, and I'm going to stop recording and log in into the browser as Veronica. So here we are in Veronica's account. There's Veronica up there, and this is the email called Link to Loop, which Shelley sent to Veronica, and there are the things. So now Veronica can say she's learned Loop and she's created a page. She can vote for the coffees she wants to vote for. And if I now go back and open up Shelley in the browser, we can see that that has been updated straight away and that we have votes here for the coffee. So if I just make this smaller and make this smaller so they could be side by side, there is Veronica and there is Shelley. So now we can see here on the left is Shelley logged in as Shelley, and this is a Loop page, and Shelley is now going to vote for the coffee. So let's bring Veronica's one into view so that we can see that, and you'll be able to see that as we go. So now we're going to bring that across. Now if Shelley votes for it, you can see it's automatically straight away being added. So I'm sure that you can start to think of some ways that you can use Microsoft Loop to collaborate. If I bring this back and we go back to the workspace, so we're in the Coffee Island workspace, and at the moment we just have one page. We can add another page and we can start creating more Loop components. So that's how we can use Microsoft Loop. And in another video, I'm going to show you how you can add a Loop component to an email or collaborate on one in Microsoft Teams or in Word on the web. See you in another video.